Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to the TAFO, the Truck Around and Find Out podcast, where we discuss some fun and hot topics surrounding the trucking industry here in northern Colorado. And we're your hosts. I'm Keith Couch with Rush Truck Center, Rocky Mountain Peterbilt's on YouTube, and we also have Ryan Byers with us. Ryan, how are you?
I'm good, Keith. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Ryan is Front Range Compliance and DOT University, and we also have Redbeard here with us.
We got the Redbeard. Redbeard, how are you today?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I bet you are. Good to have a job. So,
sorry I've missed a couple here.
Oh, Keith, you have been busy lately.
Yeah,
I would love to have heard you walk through the door and say, man, it's awesome. I'm doing great. But this trucking industry, this lack of truck sales is just
tough.
rough right now.
It's brutal.
I know. I keep waiting for you to like come in and do the jump, like, you know, the old ad.
Oh, I was
what a
in
feeling.
Oklahoma last week and had good meetings with some customers, and it's all positive. It's all very good. We just got to get it going and get things across the goal line. You know, get paid.
Yeah, so, Well, just like in sales, as you know, it requires a lot of patience, but you know, it's a tough game right now. That's for sure. I've been kind of following that on the different articles and stuff like that, and it just doesn't seem like anybody knows when this end is coming to the trucking recession. So.
Sooner the better.
Do we think that any of these new procedures that the feds are putting in with the anti-theft, you know, to crack down on cargo theft, to crack down on the CDL licensing issues, do we think overall in the long term we're going to start to see some of that turnaround to start boosting truck sales, getting small businesses wanting to buy trucks again? I mean,
I think so, but I just don't know. I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel yet.
Yeah. It's especially right now with fuel prices. It's not
that
like anybody's going to be jumping up and down saying, "Hey, I want to go buy a big diesel truck." And what would a tank? What is a typical saddle tank on your trucks? What does it typically hold? Just curiosity.
Well, generally speaking, they're somewhere between 250 and 300 gallons.
So 250 gallons at $5 and change a gallon. Yeah, it's costs a lot to get in trucking.
$1,500 just to fill
to fill it up. Holy moly!
And you add DEF into that. You're at least $1,500 to fill.
So we're dealing with $1,500 for a tank, okay, and then with the freight rates right now, that's part of this whole, you know, stuff that the FMCSA and feds are trying to get on top of.
We are seeing some freight rates get better.
Are we? Okay.
We got a guy out of Michigan. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name or not. He's not my customer. He's Mark's customer. But Mark was talking to him, and he said that he's got some produce rates now running at $4 per mile. So that's pretty good.
Okay, good.
You know, and at $3, they're making money. So I'll get more information on it, but there's probably people listening that know way more about this than me. But he said something to do with the load boards and how much freight versus movement and everything. And they have a factor that they run on that, and it's normally been running around 7. And he said it's doing really, really good if it's at 20 to 21. And he said the load boards and things like this for this produce running at 28.
28.
So he thought, well, it'll crash quick. But he said it's still hovering around 22, 23. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Yeah, that sounds promising.
Sounds positive.
Yeah, we got to get some movement somewhere. I personally, I'm hoping with the crackdown that they've been trying to do with the brokers and the freight forwarders. The things that they're trying to do with all the CDL schools, they're catching so many fraudulent schools, the mass cancellations we've been seeing of different ELD devices, you know, getting the fraudsters out of here, because I think trucking has just been inundated with so much fraud. And then also getting on top of the licensing issues. It seems like there's a lot of states that are just slow walking and not really moving forward with their actions. But I think it's slowly trickling toward this, but I think one of the biggest things that's got to happen is they've got to figure out these fuel costs, these fuel prices. I know with everything that's going on in the Middle East and that kind of thing, that's definitely not helping. But I would certainly hope that we got some movement coming. I think that so. Politically wise, I think we've got midterm elections. Like we're almost knocking on those doors. They're gonna want to get something figured out or the midterms, however that all falls. But yeah, hopefully. So did you have a good Memorial Day? We're getting back together after Memorial Day.
Yep, I did. I wasn't able to make the recording right before Memorial Day, but
we kind of slammed that one together because we were like, oh crap, we got a long weekend and we don't have anything recorded. So
I went up to Nebraska, up to Lake Minnetonka, saw the folks. Some of the family all went up there. I've never seen that lake that low. So severe drought.
I've heard you brag about that lake in the past.
It's a nice lake.
Because I think last year I was kind of talking. So I got some friends that absolutely love that other lake.
McConaughey?
McConaughey. And they're always talking it up how great it is. I think they've even bought property up there. And you were telling me when I was telling you about that you've got a lake that's just as beautiful but not as popular.
A lot less people.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So don't tell them about it.
No, we're not, So, yeah.
It's nice because you wouldn't think of white sandy beaches in Nebraska, especially western Nebraska. Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful. That's an irrigation lake, so it's, variable level. And right now, it's not much fun because the water's way down. But it's pretty cool. It's been going there for 50 years. Never seen it this low. They're not even letting any water in.
And how far did you say the water was down?
Oh, well, they got a bunch of cottonwood trees around it, and usually this time of year, the water's well up into those trees. You walk through those trees, walk out onto the beach, and it's probably another 250, 300 yards to the water.
Kidding. Wow.
It's, like I said, I've never seen it that low.
Wow. It's going to be a dry summer. I've been kind of surprised just looking at our little lakes around here in northern Colorado where we're at, how much water's in there. Like in Loveland, you've got what is that, Lake Loveland? As you go down Eisenhower to drive around that thing is full right now. Yeah. I know it's going to give it a month and it'll be dry like it is every year, but that one's full. And over by you, what's Boyd looking like right now?
Very low.
Very low. Okay.
Now Horseshoe, which is right next to it, it's still very low. Now, we were up at Horse Tooth.
Okay.
It's fairly full. Now, I was talking to a guy who's lived here his whole life, and he said, yeah, but that's the shares they paid for last year. So they were due those shares regardless of what water levels are going to be. So he said, next year, you might see Horse Tooth at half.
Really?
Yeah. So he said, they always kind of run behind. So I don't know how all that works.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. So I'm expecting to see some dry reservoirs around here also. So I was kind of surprised to see the water I did, but that kind of makes sense, having those shares.
And all that water at Horsetooth, that all comes from Grand Lake because it comes under the mountains in a pipe, great big concrete pipe, down to St. Mary's and then down to Lake Estes, and then it's piped down again to Pinewood Reservoir. Uh-huh. And then they put that new reservoir in above Carter. So they're filling it out of that. And then that system through canals goes on up to Horsetooth.
Okay.
So
I got you.
That's why that water's so freaking cold.
Yeah, Carter is chilly. That used to be our favorite to boat at. We loved Carter. So especially in the middle of the summer, 100 degrees out, that water was a little bit cooler. Yeah, it was pretty nice. I did discover that there's other lakes up above there. So if you take that road all the way to the top, there's a little private reservoir up there that people use. Is that Pinewood?
Yeah, it's not private. But it's wakeless.
Yeah, it's definitely wakeless.
Definitely wakeless.
I went up there, tons of paddle boards. So, but it was a very, very beautiful.
So I've camped up there where the lake's full. Go to bed, you wake up, it's nothing but mud.
Really?
They can empty that thing in a few hours.
No kid.
It's amazing.
Wow. Where's that? Is that just an irrigation pond? Is it going?
Well, no, that's what comes through from Grand Lake.
Oh, is it? So they drop
to
it
St. Mary's, to Lake Estes, then down to Pinewood, that one.
Okay.
And then it goes on down to Carter, and then it feeds off there and goes to Horsetooth.
Wow.
But yeah, that Pinewood is just
Don't be swimming in it when they go to drain it. You
No,
might
you
end
might
up in
get
a
lost.
lower pond.
Yeah. It's amazing how fast they can drain that.
Now, when you were up at Minotaur, did you do any fishing?
No.
Nah, just camping, that kind of thing.
Yeah, just camping. Got a heck of a rainstorm Thursday night up there. The rest of the time was beautiful.
I got you. Well, I'm looking forward to fishing this summer. So that's why I'm asking you. Is we got my grandson, Nolan, turning 3 this summer. Papa's supposed to be taking him out to buy his fishing pole. So we were at Shills like a week ago, and Holly comes walking out getting ready to put a fishing pole in the cart. I was like, what are you doing? She found like a Cars fishing pole, which is, of course, she loves everything cars. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, doesn't Nolan need a fishing pole? I was like, no, Nolan and Papa are coming to Shills to pick out his fishing pole together. So she's like, oh, pardon me. I guess this is Papa territory here.
That's
so
right.
yeah, getting super excited. And I got a new grandbaby on the way. I told you about that earlier.
Congratulations.
So thank you. 2 weeks. Miss Natalie's going to be having her second. It's going to be a little girl, Amelia Ryan Tillstra. Yeah, fantastic. Super excited to meet my new granddaughter, which looking at, I think Natalie, given her current condition, is just cannot wait for that day to come. So
sure.
I tried to tell her, I'm like, well, when Nolan, you had him in August, at least you don't have to make it through all those hot summer months. So she is happy about that. But yeah, she's definitely ready to go for that. So perfect. Well, rolling into the summer, that's kind of my big plan. Going to be doing a little fishing with the grandbabies. Maybe some skeet shooting, not skeet, I guess, sporting clay shooting. Of course, I guess, do they have skeet up there at Great Guns?
I know they
got trapped. Now, skeet is when it's side to side, right? Mm-hmm. So back and forth, which I definitely need a lot of practice. So I should probably practice my skeet, my trap. I think I need work all the way around on my sporting clays. So gonna be
just open your eyes, you'll be all right.
Is that what the secret is? Oh, no wonder I can't hit anything. You got to keep your eyes open? Oh, man, that explains a lot.
That helps.
That does. Perfect. Well, Keith, I had a topic today in trucking transportation that I wanted to get into. Really kind of 2 of them. I guess the first one I should talk about is the MOTUS update. I did mention it last week. That is that new program, the online, the data theft or fraud prevention, making all the companies register for this new MOTUS. Basically, what they did was they dumped the portal to access on the online profiles, such as DataQ, your MCS 150, all that good stuff. And last week, the last couple weeks, it went live and it turned into a total dumpster fire. So I was kind of talking about that last week's episode. But there is some updates. So first off, we did figure out how once you get in there and you claim your DOT number, once you get access to it, in order for your third party, your vendors, you have to go into the MOTUS, you have to click on user management, and you can add in that third party so that way, somebody like Front Range Compliance Services will be able to also log in and utilize and help you out with data queues, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, the point to get to any of the other federal websites are still popping up as 400 errors, but that is, of course, the step 1. Then what they did was they shut down Portal, so you couldn't access your portal anymore. And then lo and behold, as of yesterday, they came out with the new instructions for companies that are trying to switch over. So Front Range Compliance, we have a DOT number, but it won't register. So I've gone in and tried to get it to register. Well, something happened when the Fed shut down the actual old portal, and that it wasn't allowing you to move everything over. It was just saying, hey, that action couldn't be done, or it was unrecognized. So as of yesterday, what they did was it looks like they reactivated Portal. So you have to get those roles and then assigned, get everything switched over, and then go over to MOTUS, and then you can move everything over from Portal. So I think they're kind of working on some workarounds, but they kind of went through and messed it all up so you couldn't move anything over. So if you're struggling with your identifying your company, claiming your US DOT number in the MOTUS, make sure you have all the roles switched over in Portal, and then that would move. And if you need help with it, straight up, I just got to tell you, call Nicole. She's a rock star. She's got this stuff all figured out. But I've been trying to kind of keep up with it, and it's just been a total mess, but not a big surprise. All right. Well, marijuana is another hot topic in the
Imagine
DOT
that.
news. Besides being the number one tested substance, in all the drug and alcohol testing, I think it accounted for over 60% of all the positive tests. And so marijuana is big. But of course, the industry is pushing. They want it to be legalized, right? That's the marijuana industry. That's, pro marijuana folks. They want it legalized. Well, some stuff has come up since the signing of the executive order to reclassify it from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 2 substance, or I'm sorry, Schedule 3 substance. People are arguing that that changes the law and it should be allowed by the DOT. Well, the FMCSA did come out. Not the FMCSA, the United States Department of Transportation has come out and said, no, that's not going to happen. They are strictly prohibiting marijuana. That basically, to sum it up, I think one of the direct quotes was, see if I can find it here as we're going. It says marijuana use is not compatible with safety sensitive functions, and that's directly from the Office of Drug and Alcohol Policy. So with the DOT. So, and I tend to agree. There is nothing out there. The argument is saying by reclassifying that, they're claiming that making it a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 substance should pull that out of the regulation. And the DOT has come out and basically stated that they do reference in their laws Schedule 1 substances, but marijuana is referenced by name. So even though it's no longer a Schedule 1 because it's referenced by name, none of the federal laws have changed, and it is still prohibited. The second big part they came out with and said because marijuana is, as prescribed, is not recognized and authorized by the USDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Since it's not recognized there, it will not be recognized as a legal prescription, such as opioids or amphetamines could be recognized. So even if somebody's trying to claim that they have a medical right or it's been prescribed, because the FDA does not accept it, then it cannot be authorized for any type of legal use. So bottom line is, if you're in trucking transportation, you are strictly forbidden from that. So I don't think that's a big surprise really from anybody in this room, right? I think one of the very interesting things is some audits that I have done recently. One of them is with a state agency, and as I was looking through that profile, they authorize for non-CDL employees, even though they're driving still regulated vehicles, so, the 10,001 to 26 even, non-CDL but still a commercial, they, in their written policy, they authorize the use of recreational or medical marijuana. And
Really?
really. I was really kind of surprised to see that.
So their insurance allows that?
Well, it's a state Colorado government entity. So, yeah, kind of interesting. I was like, and we're not talking like state patrol, but we are talking about, very heavily regulated industry, so I was
Kind of like
I was,
government diesel vehicles don't have to have emissions.
maybe so, but
I've seen them.
They did authorize that amongst that, and I kind of called them on it. I was like, when you go to the regulations, when you read Part 392, which is what I refer to as driver rules and prohibited practices, it prohibits all drivers from use of controlled substances to include marijuana. And I said, I granted the drug and alcohol testing only pertains to, it only pertains to CDL drivers, but, they're still forbidden for the non-CDL side. So I definitely see that's a problem. I also been kind of hearing that, there's some stuff coming up with hair testing on the DOT side, that there's going to be a push to allow hair because hair can fine tune when somebody actually used. So saying because marijuana is so far out, you can get that positive test, 30, 90 days later, depending on what is stored in the body's fat tissues, that there's a push to try to bring hair back in so you can show that, hey, this was not when that usage was and the time frame to show that it was not. I personally, because it's banned 100% of the time, I don't think that that's going to fly, because it's still once a CDL driver signs that they're a CDL holder, they're not going to have that. But yeah, that's kind of my my truck around and find out topic. You know, make sure you're educating your drivers on marijuana usage. At DOT University, Luke, we just updated that class, so we included a lot. Would you say I put a lot of stuff in there for marijuana?
I would say that it's about 1/6 of the entire training is all about marijuana.
So I kind of, well, with me, it's kind of a passion project, because I kind of feel like here in the industry, we as a whole are kind of missing the boat when it comes to, especially the reasonable suspicion testing. Mm-hmm. But the marijuana industry has packaged this and produced a product that can be used right in front of you. You have no idea that the individual is using it. And where we're seeing this constant, this new trend of dosing, you know, it to me reminds me of no different of an individual who was drinking all day but hiding it from their boss. So they're maintaining that, you know, in the old days, it was your blood alcohol content. You're kind of maintaining a level of intoxication that's not dropping you clear out of the marches here. You can still work, but you know, you're still intoxicated. Well, we're kind of seeing that with weed now. So where people are dosing, they're not getting super slammed, but they're just getting that nice, even little, would you call it a buzz? They're getting a little high, whatever that would be. And they're just kind of maintaining that, but they're using the THC right in front of you. And the industry as a whole has the products. I mean, you can go High Times Magazine, go to any dispensary website, and you can see their products. And I guarantee you that, you know, every time I teach this live to big groups, it's really fun, because I go to all the dispensary sites and I steal all their pictures and say, hey, this is your products. And I have had numerous occasions where people are like, oh, I've got drivers that use that exact same thing. And I'm like, yep, they're using it in front of you. So education is key when it comes to this. I cannot stress enough. You've got to update your reasonable suspicion training. Do it frequently, at least every couple years, just to keep it fresh in the mind, that kind of thing. So I'll say that. So got a good class, dotuniversity.org. It's a great one. Keith, where can we find Rocky Mountain Peterbilts on YouTube?
Just search it.
You got some good videos been going on?
Yeah, I've got a couple of dump trucks I'll be putting on there probably tomorrow. Quad axle dumps.
Keith puts out Rocky Mountain Peterbilts on YouTube, puts out some really, really cool videos. You just go out, throw your camera on it, and walk around and explain what you got there.
I think most people, I don't put any music to it.
Yeah.
Don't edit it. It's just raw. Just walk. I just kind of do new truck walk-arounds. There's a few used in there, but mostly new.
Yeah, they're usually pretty spectacular. Yeah. A lot of good feedback too from your videos.
I've gotten a lot of good
viewers.
I think people like it because it's just not polished.
Yeah.
It's just real.
Yeah, so absolutely. Well, Redbeard, you got anything you want to throw in there for the compliance standards? No, you got to have something when I ask you that question. Luke developed a new form for us for drug and alcohol testing post-accident. We've been trying to get a form put together for years, and he got one developed. So we're going to be rolling that out amongst the whole crew. That's pretty good. And we got big meetings tonight. We're meeting with some staff, trying to figure out some plans and options for the future. So hopefully we got big things going there. So with that being said, so all right. Well, with that, I guess Keith, if you got anything to add?
Nope.
All right. Good. Well, with that, I would appreciate you, especially our drivers out there. Thank you for moving America forward. Keep our shiny side up and stay safe out there.
God bless you guys.